Columbus, and welcome to DomsPerspective. What's up, everybody? What I want to talk to y'all today about is distractions. You ever notice how the more focus you get, the more distractions come into your life? That's because when you are in alignment with your vision, when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's going to be a lot of forces and a lot of oppositions out there that's going to try to distract you and take you away from doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, another question is this: how does one person know when they're being distracted? Well, if you're ever in a situation, if you're ever in a place with somebody or around lots of people, and in that very moment, if you're in that moment thinking about what you would rather be doing, that situation or that person is a distraction. There has been countless times where I have gone out. I've been at a party, I've been at a club, or even times where I've hung out with different girls, right? And I've been sitting there, and again, I'm all about appreciating the moment. I'm all about appreciating the now. But there will be times where I'll be sitting there, and the entire time I'm thinking to myself, man, like, why am I here? I would rather be at home writing. I would rather be at home creating right now, channeling my energy, channeling the things that are on my mind into something positive that's going to take me somewhere versus just being out somewhere. That's how you know you're distracted. When you're in a situation or with somebody and you're not even fully invested in that moment. You're thinking about what you would rather do than enjoying that moment. So therefore, if you're not enjoying that moment, you're distracted from doing what you're supposed to be doing. You don't want to ever feel like you're wasting time. Now, on the flip side, it's kind of funny how distractions work. You know, again, I remember there was a time in my life when I was younger, and I was trying to figure out what the next step was in my career. I was trying to figure out what's that next move that I needed to make in order to get me closer to what I want to be doing. And in that part of my life, I was actually isolated. You know, I was forced to be by myself. I was away from any outside influences. I was away from everything, right? There'd be times, you know, I would try my best to call people, to try and hang out, to try and go do things, but it would never really work out. That's because, again, when you're isolated, when you're away from everything, what God in the universe is telling you to do is to focus your energy on what you love to do. Focus your energy on becoming better, right? So at that time frame, I was away from distractions and I was actually able to lock in and do what I needed to do. But I started realizing, again, the more focus I got and the more time I spent doing what I wanted to do, things just started coming to me. People and different things started coming towards me now versus me trying to call and make things happen. You know, people want to hang out with me a lot more. People want to go and do things. People were inviting me out to these places. And I found it kind of ironic that when I was actually in alignment with my vision, when I was doing what I wanted to do, that all of a sudden, all these things started coming my way, and I had to start getting a little bit more selfish with my own time, with where I invest my time into. And I tested it. You know, there'll be times where, you know, I'll be writing and I'll get a phone call from a friend of mine, right? And they'll be like, hey, we're all going out tonight. You want to go out? And I'm sitting here at my computer and I'm like, well, I kind of want to keep writing, but I'm down to go out. And I end up going out that night, and the night just isn't really that fun because the entire time while I'm out, I'm thinking about what I should be doing on that computer. I'm thinking about, man, why did I come out? I would rather be studying my lines. I would rather be writing. This is what I would rather be doing. So this is how I know I was distracted. You know, and again, it comes in different forms. You know, when it comes to women, when it comes to family, or when it comes to friends, those three things alone can be the biggest distractions in the world. There's times where you need to know how to filter out time and get away from your family and just focus on you. There's times where you can't just go out and hang out with your friends all the time because, again, you want to focus on you. And then there's times where, yeah, you might meet that pretty girl, you guys might vibe out, but then a lot of that time that you spend hanging out with her or dealing with those problems, or you guys arguing or trying to figure out what you're going to do for that night, all it does, it just takes time away from what you're supposed to be doing. Now, when it comes to distractions, you also need to learn how to filter them out. Going back to what I said in the beginning, right? The more focused you become, the more focused you are in alignment with your vision, you'll notice a lot more distractions coming your way. But again, that's why you have to consistently start training your muscle and start training your mind to filter those out in the beginning process, because if you can't do that in the beginning, it's only going to get worse. as you continue to grow. And, you know, this past weekend I was actually in Vegas filming for Ray Donovan, and a lot of the time that I spent out there, I was actually with Liev Schreiber, who plays Ray Donovan, right? And there's something that really inspired me. You know, I was looking at this guy, and I know how hard he works. I know how much energy and focus and time he invests into his craft. But one thing that I noticed too, though, is he's really good at cutting out distractions. He's really good at being able to cut out all the BS and focus his energy on what he needed to do. So this is what I tell people all the time. You know, for me personally, my main focus in life is to stay focused. You don't want to get distracted. You want to be able to filter out all the things that take you away from what you're supposed to focus on. Because again, that's what distractions are. Someone asked me before, they said, well, how do you know when you're distracted? Well, again, if you're ever out somewhere, if you're with somebody or with some people and you're not enjoying that moment, you're thinking about what you would rather be doing instead of enjoying that moment, you are now distracted, my friend. So just to wrap things up, the reason why I wanted to talk to y'all today about distractions is to simply to get you to understand that the more focus you get, the more distractions are going to come into your life. And you have to be aware of that, and you also have to be able to identify what those distractions are so you don't get distracted. It's okay to live life. It's okay to go out and have fun and experience dope things and create these dope moments for yourself. That's what life is all about. But if these things that you're experiencing, if these moments that you're currently in are not helping you move forward towards your goal or towards your vision, you are distracted, my friend. And what you have to do is, again, come to an isolated state where you're away from any outside influences or any people to take you off of that frequency. There's a reason why I spend a lot of time by myself, simply because I don't want to get distracted. I don't want to get caught up in other people's worlds and other people's energies and talk about these things that I don't really care about. The things that I want to do and the things that I care about, I'd rather surround myself with those people, because every time I'm with those people, we're making moves, we're moving forward. They're part of my vision. They're not distracting me, they're elevating and they're motivating me. There's a difference. Again, distractions, the way they work is they take you away and they kind of put you in this la-la land to where you kind of forget about life for a little bit. And not saying that's not okay, because we all have moments where we kind of need to escape from reality a little bit and just kind of go see things from a different perspective and just kind of go have fun. But what a visionary and what a creative does is they know how to come back and take those experiences and take those situations and apply that into what they want to do. And for this weekly challenge, what I want every single one of you guys to do is I want you to look into your lives, and I want you to analyze the people when it comes to the girls or your boyfriend, family, friends, or whatever. Analyze all the people that you have around you and really be honest with yourself. Are any of these people helping you get to that next level? If none of these people are helping elevate or motivate you to get to that next level, they are distractions.
Never break you. Yeah, I know.